Hello, and welcome to Chapters 12 and 13 on your online World Regional Geography course. Chapter 12 introduces Australia and New Zealand, and then Chapter 13 wraps up the text at looking at the Pacific and Antarctica. So let's kind of just jump through this real quick because these are the last two chapters of this online course, so we can get you going towards the end. So Chapter 12 introduces, again, Australia and New Zealand. Now, Australia is an independent country and a relatively low elevation island that is distinguished by its large semi-arid interior region called the Outback. The two core areas, with moderate type sea climates along the eastern and western coast, hold most of the population. Great Britain colonized Australia and first used it as a prison colony. European traditions and heritage prevail, and with English as its main language and Christianity as its main religion, it's really become its own entity. Now, the Aborigines had been there for tens of thousands of years before the Europeans arrived, but believe it or not, only about 450,000 actually remain. Now, the traditional method of wealth and in Australia has been through pretty much agriculture production itself. In the latter half of the 20th century, the export of minerals and raw materials became a major method of gaining wealth. In the past decade, tourism has risen to Australia's number one means of gaining wealth. Physical features such as the Great Barrier Reef, the Outback, and many unique animals make Australia a destination for world travelers. Now, New Zealand is about 1,500 miles to the east of Australia across the Tasman Sea. The two main islands of New Zealand have a very high relief, with what's considered the Southern Alps located on the southern island. Moderate climate conditions and adequate rainfall make New Zealand an appealing place for agriculture and tourism. The remote locations create an element of isolation that is a cost consideration for travel and trade. The Maori people from Polynesia inhabited New Zealand before the British colonized it. The Maori make up less than 10% of the total 4.3 million people in New Zealand today. The main economic activity has been agriculture exports, but the country has been diversifying into industrial processes and more of the ecotourism. Now, wrapping up with Chapter 11, the Pacific and Antarctica, the low coral islands and the high volcanic islands of the South Pacific can be divided into three regional groups: Polynesia, Micronesia, and Melanesia. The Pacific Islands cover the world's largest geographic realm, and there are great distances between many of these island groups. The Pacific has a high level of ethnic diversity. There are hundreds of different languages and cultural traditions. Papua New Guinea is the largest island and is host to more than 700 languages. Various Pacific islands remain possessions of France, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, or the United States. Now, the Pacific Islands are subject to natural forces such as typhoons, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and tropical storms. Some of the islands have radiation issues as well because they were used as nuclear test sites by the United States, France, and Great Britain. There are other environmental concerns such as deforestation and actually the lack of fresh water. Now, finishing up with Antarctica, it is an ice-covered continent that is larger than the continents of Europe or Australia. The Southern Ocean surrounds Antarctica, which is located entirely south of 60 degrees latitude. Antarctica's ice sheet is more than a mile thick but does not cover the entire land surface. Extensive mountain ranges exist with volcanic peaks that have erupted in recent years. The only permanent human settlements in Antarctica are research stations. Another thing to add is that ozone in the stratosphere protects the Earth from ultraviolet radiation. Now, this ozone depletion in the stratosphere can be caused by the release of industrial chemicals. A large ozone hole sometimes exists over Antarctica during a seasonal increase in ozone-depleting elements. Well, that about wraps this up. Be sure to subscribe to the other channels for the other courses that I'm teaching, and there will be one last video. It'll be a final exam review. Be sure to check that out, and we'll talk soon.